Hey Warriors, it's Morrigan and welcome to the official 2000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed and also who submitted questions. Guys, this is going to take a while. You all submitted great questions and I'm hoping to get to as many as possible. I've had to divide the questions up into 5 different categories this time around. And so we'll be going through each of those. The first one will be ASMR channel related questions, and then we'll have some content and series questions, followed by collaboration questions, into the personal ones, and onto what I'm calling the randoms of the most randomness questions possible. To go ahead and give you a little incentive, hopefully, to listen to this entire thing, I'm going to be making a very small surprise announcement at the end of the Q&A. As we go through, I'm also going to be saying the names of the people who asked questions, and I hope that I don't butcher your name. If I do, I am so very sorry, so please go ahead and forgive me. So we'll start off with ASMR channel related questions. So Lone Wolf 22 asks, do you have everything on script or some script with some on the fly? Mainly I do mostly scripts, just because I like to feel prepared. I spend a lot of time writing them and getting them together and prepared. But I have found that when I go through a script that a line might jump into my head and I'm thinking, hey, that would really help, the story. And so I'll throw it in there. Lone Wolf also asks, have you had any people come up to you if they recognize you from your audios? And that goes into the same question from Extreme Otaku. She asks, has anyone recognized you in public by your voice? If not, how do you think you'd react to be recognized? No one has come up to me, thank God. And if someone did, I probably would deny, because it would freak me out. It literally would. If somebody just walked up and said, hey, I know who you are, I would probably turn pale and maybe even pass out. Extreme also asks, do you have more viewers, male or female, or is it a mixture of both? I have more male viewers. I think it's like 80 to 20% according to the YouTube analysis or whatnot. But it's mainly the men who come and listen to me. Extreme also asks, have you thought about doing live streams? Yes, I have, but I'm not as comfortable with YouTube yet to try that. So I'm hoping that maybe for the 5,000 subscriber benchmark that we might be able to do a live stream. That's at least the goal. Don't know if it'll happen, but it's the goal. Max Wagoner asks, do your friends and family know that you do audios? And if they know, what's their reaction? Only 3 people in my personal life know that I do this. One of them is my mom, and the other 2 are just friends. And they thought it was cool. They don't quite understand the whole ASMR roleplay thing, but they love me and they support me. And so they ask about it from time to time, but I ask them not to go search for it, and they have respected my wishes. So they're supportive, but just kind of from a long distance perspective, I guess. Jonathan Mullen asks, what audio are you most proud to have created? It's one that's in the family business series. Oh, I can't remember what chapter it is, but it's the one where we use Kira's artwork. I think it was Callan's Offer, maybe. It was just a really awesome use of my, I guess what you could say is how I've grown in editing, just getting the voices together right, the conversation sounding natural, sound effects, and then also adding the element of music. I'm very, very proud of how that one turned out. It's either Ivan or Even. I'm going to go with Ivan. Bragninski asked, what made you want to become an ASMR YouTuber? Well, I got into the whole ASMR community back in December of last year and found MacLeod first. Just loved his storytelling, loved the way that he did it, and thought, hey, maybe I could do this too, and maybe I could help people as he did. And so that's when I kind of threw my hat in the ring around February, March of this year, and I guess you could say the rest is history. Ivan also asked, how does it feel knowing you've probably helped so many people with just your voice? It's very, very humbling and very, very amazing to me just to think that a very small part of who I am has maybe made someone feel a little less lonely, has made someone feel like they've got a friend when they need one. And so it's definitely a blessing to even remotely think that I might have helped one person just by using my voice. Kyle Holt asks, have you ever thought of doing accents? Yes, but I'm not very good at them. And so it's probably not something I'm going to jump into anytime soon. LJ Magbag asked, which of your ASMR series was the most fun to make or you're most proud of? That's a tough question because apparently I have become the ASMR series queen. Everything that I've done, I feel like you guys have requested and has turned into a series. As of right now, I would have to say that my family business series is probably one that has been the most fun to make, just because of editing and getting to work with Ozzy Ben and Cardlin Audio. But I'm also very proud of the vampire series from the writing standpoint. But not that I'm not proud of the family series for that either. Which of your ASMR series was the most challenging to make? I'm going to sound like a broken record. The family business series. Just working with 3 different voices at times, all sorts of music and sound effects. It was a lot of time editing, but it was very, very rewarding in the end. LJ also asked, what do you do beforehand, when preparing for an audio recording? I try to pick a very quiet time of the day. That doesn't always happen. I say a prayer that the dog is quiet. And I do a little bit of just preparation as far as making sure the computer's up and going, my scripts are ready, all of that, just that I'm prepared before I sit down so I don't have to get back up and down. LJ's last question in this section, is there an interesting story behind your username Morrigan? Yes, Morrigan is actually the Celtic goddess of war, among other things. I am extremely interested in Irish folklore and myths, if you will. And when come across doing some research on that, I just fell in love with Morrigan. Her strength, her tenacity, the mystery that surrounds her, and the fact that she is supposedly 3 goddesses in one, and is, just the artwork that I've seen of her is gorgeous, and just really, really fell in love with her. So when I decided to do the channel, I thought, yeah, I need to make sure that I use something that I'm proud of and interested in, and so that's where Morrigan came up to. Whooper Duper asks, what type of audios do you like to make or record the most? Probably, it's 50-50. I love doing the girlfriend audios because I get to be the sweet, supportive, loving side of myself, but then I also enjoy the character role plays because I get to step in other people's shoes and in their lives and in their minds and get to be them for a little while. So I would have to say that it's 50-50. Sleepless Student asks, why do you think so many people watch your audios? Because they're well written or they're relaxing, or maybe because of your voice? I'm hoping it's all 3. I'm thinking if one of those elements was off, people wouldn't continue to come back. So I'm gonna be a little stuck up, I guess, and say all 3. MZ Catmac asks, do you do vocal warm-ups before recording? A few. Not anything to where like the neighbors are gonna hear, but I'll hum, and I have a couple of little tongue twisters that I do just to get things together. Catmac also asks, how many times do you read through the script, even though you've probably wrote it, to familiarize yourself before recording? Maybe once or twice. Since I've got it right here and I do have the lovely stop button that if I make a mistake, I can fix it. I don't go through it a ton. Michael Sergio Fisher Zaragoza, I believe is how you pronounce that last part, asked how I discovered ASMR. To be honest, I really don't remember. Somehow I was searching YouTube and ended up there, and yeah, I really don't remember. Michael also asks, what would you recommend if someone wanted to start doing ASMR audios? First of all, make sure you know what you want your content to be. If you're going to focus more on the triggers or if you're going to do more of the role play. Because once you choose your content, you need to stick with it. That way your audience doesn't get confused. Make sure that you do research on how to run a YouTube channel. There's lots of great videos on YouTube for that, actually. And then just give yourself some grace. You're gonna make mistakes. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to realize that your beginning stuff probably wasn't the best. But just make sure that you put out content that you enjoy and that you're proud of. And make yourself happy. If you're happy doing it, other people will be happy listening to you as well. Michael asks, do you do all the content in one take or do you break it up? No, I'm normally a one take kind of person. If I sit down to do an audio, I'm going to hit record. I'm going to go through it, even recording my mistakes. And then when I go back and edit, if I need to redo something, I'll do it at that time. But I try not to break it up. It's good for me to do it all in just one fell swoop. Michael asks, what is the current software you're using for your audios? Audacity. It's free and it works. So there you go. Thomas Fuller asked, what would you think you'd be doing right now if you hadn't stepped your foot into ASMR? I'd probably be bored. I definitely wouldn't be interacting with all of my warriors and getting to know you guys and spend time with you on social media. So yeah, I'm going to go with bored on that one. All right. This name I completely butchered on the last Q&A, so I hope I get it right this time. I think I pronounced it Sajored last time, but I've looked up on Google, and I'm hoping I say this correctly, but I believe it's Shord is how you say it. So I'm hoping I've got that right. Shord asks, what is the hardest part of making ASMR videos? Finding the time to record. When you've got a full-time job and you've got, a personal life, you've got to make sure you get your recording in, because I've promised you, 3 audios a week, and it's a commitment that I've made and I'm going to honor. So that's probably the hardest part. Short asks, what are the highs of having an ASMR channel? Just getting to create stories, I think, is amazing, but more so just getting to interact with the listeners and seeing how much you guys enjoy what I put out is a huge blessing. Last question from them, or what are the lows? When I guess when I've put a lot of effort into an audio and I see that it's not getting the views I expected it did. Not that it's a bad audio, but it just kind of makes me worry sometimes that some of what I'm putting out may not be what you guys want. So Rex Ultimate asks, how much time do you need to make an ASMR audio? When I record, I normally give myself about 30 minutes to an hour to record. And then I'll go in within that time frame as well and do what I call cleanup. Getting rid of noise, the mistakes, mumbles, mouth sounds like the pops and the smacks. And then after that, I will go back again and then do sound effects, music, and add it. So I'm going to say, give or take, depending on the length of the audio, 2 to 3 hours. Rex also asks, how much of your free time do you spend on ASMR? A lot. I normally have to record after dark, like after bedtime, basically. Just that way the neighbors are quiet, the traffic outside the highway I live by is quiet. And so it's one of those that if I'm not recording early in the evening or anything like that, I'm writing scripts. So I use a lot of my free time for my channel, but you guys are worth it. So Chain Train for Life asks, what kind of mic do you use to record? I have a Yeti. I've upgraded a little bit since the beginning. Beforehand, I just had like literally a headset with a mic attached to it. I look like a telemarketer when I recorded. But yeah, now I've got a Yeti and it sounds so much better. Cassandra asks, what's next for MorriganAudio? At this point, I just want to keep doing my best in giving you guys new and interesting content that you enjoy, that you look forward to. I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some more collaborations with other artists, and so that'll come up more in the next section, or not the next section, but a later section of categories of questions. So that's all for the channel questions. We'll move on to the content or series questions. Caitlin Brady asks, when will you make a bully video? Sweetie, I promise it is on my to-do list. Unfortunately, I've got so many ideas, and some just have to, be put on the back burner just because of demand. And so, but I promise, Caitlin, it's on my to-do list. Nikita Mays asks, would you ever consider doing other supernatural creature ASMRs like demons or angels? Absolutely. That's actually one of my upcoming ideas that I need to kind of flesh out a little bit. VGBC Persona asks, when is the next vampire episode? And actually, a lot of you asked for that. Next vampire episode should be out on Monday. I'm recording this on Saturday. So when this Q&A is released, there should be the next vampire episode released. Range Lancer, asked, what is your favorite type of role play to make? Like I said before, it's 50-50. I like them both. They just have different elements within that. Cruise Wolf asked, are you planning to do any Yandere videos? Yeah, I've got a playlist for that. So go ahead and look around the playlist section on YouTube for that. Crimson Valkyrie asks the dreaded question, will we ever get to hear a not safe for work audio from you? And I can only imagine that he's kind of meaning like sensual or erotica. I will not be doing that genre of audio. It's something that I'm not comfortable with, and so, sorry. All of my stuff is pretty much going to be safe. Crimson also asks, how many parts will there be for the Vigilante series? At this point, it's kind of indefinite, as with all my series. I just kind of let the story go where it wants to go. And right now, I'm not sure the direction that it's headed. So I'm thinking there probably will be several more for that. Chain Train for Life asks, where did you get the inspiration for the vampire series? Out of my weird little head. Again, when I write the series, I kind of just let the story come. And so it's, one episode I'll think, okay, here we go. And then I'll go brainstorm the next one. It's not like I have them all written down at one time. I will normally write the script for the new episode the week that I record and release it. Just that way it's fresh and the ideas are new. Sora 777777 asks, how did you come up with all the audio characters? I'm a very character-driven person, especially in like books that I read and movies that I watch. And so it's just something that I kind of come naturally at. And yeah, so again, just from my weird little head. Zarfax321 asks, what other series do you have planned? I have a kind of medieval series planned called the Night series. And the first 2 episodes have been written. Just not sure when I'm going to release those. Extreme Otaku asks, have you ever thought about doing female for female audios for your LGBTQ viewers? I try to keep most of my audios as gender neutral as possible, just because most of my listeners are male. But I do want to include, the ones that want the female for female. I don't know if I'll ever do just an outright audio for that. Extreme Otaku also asks, if we were to write a script for you, how can we get it to you? I have created an email address for submissions for either fan art, script ideas, or script themselves. And it's MorriganAudioSubmissions@gmail.com. Abby Creative Dreamer asks, will you do some Big Sister role plays, and do you think this will be helpful for others? I actually did a test one with a Big Sister role play last Wednesday, and it seemed to be very well received, so I will probably keep throwing one of those in the mix every now and then. This was one of the most popular questions. Just some of the ones that called this one out was Thomas Fuller, Victoria Chase, Kyle Holt, and Brandon Worley. Is the werewolf series in the works, or is it yet to be started? And then are you going to have a standalone werewolf series, or just going to do the vampire series crossover with Ben? There is a werewolf series in the works, and no, it will not have Ben in it. The vampire crossover is kind of a standalone thing on its own. So no, when the werewolf comes out, when Morrigan comes out as a werewolf, you guys, it's going to be a standalone series on the channel. The Complex Gamer asks, are you going to continue the wife role plays? Absolutely. Gamer also asked if I would give a shout out to their channel. So yeah, guys, Complex Gamer has a channel. Go check it out. Kyle Holt asks, can you please do more of the Yandere kidnapping stories? I have plans for those, but I haven't been inspired by the right story yet. But yes, I plan on doing some more Yandere. Lone Wolf 22 asks, will you be continuing the Caring Stranger roleplay? Yes, there will be some sequels to that. Wolf also asks, have you ever thought of making a bloopers audio? No, because I delete those things as fast as I can. And they probably wouldn't be as funny as you guys think they would. Spartan Strife asks, have you ever thought of making a Star Wars style type ASMR series? I'm going to be honest, no, because Star Wars fans are very, very protective of their fandom, and I'm not going to step into that. I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, and so that's probably a series that I would stay away from. Violin Sharkboy asks, would you like to try an Assassin ASMR series? Yes, that's actually on my to-do list. Living on Seconds asks, if given the chance, would you be open to doing some singing on your channel? No, absolutely not. I'm not a singer unless I am in the car and it's turned up really loud, or I'm in the shower. That's the only two places that I sing. Spencer Bell asks, can you record a Christmas special about meeting your boyfriend's parents? I probably will do some holiday themed role plays, but it'll be closer to the actual holiday. Katu Megumi Best Girl, and I know I butchered that, says, do you have any plan for I believe it's Tsundere series? I'm going to have to look up that genre. If I remember correctly, it's the one where the person's kind of mean in the beginning and then becomes nice. I'm not mean, so I don't know about that one. I'll have to think about it. Scott Walsh said, what's your favorite series that you've made so far? Oh, I think I answered that one as the Family Business series from one standpoint, but you know, they're all great in their own right. They really, really are. Andrew Palermo asked, did I get the script finished? Andrew, I'm working on it. Andrew actually submitted an amazing idea for a script, and I'm in the process of getting that into script form. And I know you guys are going to love it. And I know he's anxious to have everyone hear it too. But I promise I'm working on it. Andrew also asks, is the prince ever going to marry the vampire queen? I don't know. I guess you'll have to keep listening to find out. Alonzo Vaca asked, do you plan on releasing your writing outside of this channel in the form of a novel or something like that? Alonzo's very sweet and says that he, for one, knows he would buy it. I haven't really thought about that, but in him asking this question, I don't know, maybe I might do something on Wattpad. I've seen a lot of listeners use that for their own writing, and so maybe, you know, if things continue and I can find the time, that might be something, you know, people would do. Alonzo asked, do I ever plan on using fan-written scripts in the future? Absolutely. I would love to see what people have. So that's all the questions on the content and series category. And we are moving on to collaboration questions. And I was amazed at how many people actually asked this. Napalm Wolf asked, do I enjoy collaborating with other ASMR artists? Yes, absolutely. It's neat to see their process in creating audios, in preparing, in writing, in just how they do their own thing. And it's neat to kind of steal some of their stuff as far as like how they do this or how they do that. Napalm asks, do you collab with anyone who asks you to be on their channel? Well, so far, I've had 3 people ask me to be on their channel. Ben, MacLeod, and Mama Night Blossom, and I said yes to all of them. So far, everybody that's asked, I've actually done. Napalm asks, how long does it take to finish a single audio together? Depends on the number of people and depends on schedules. Normally, by the time that you get everyone's audios back, you get them edited, sometimes, it takes up to 4 or 5 days. Just depends on the size of the project, what your predetermined release date is, and just normal life in general. Beast Mode asked, do I need another male voice for recording? Possibly. If you're wanting to work, you just gotta kind of ask. Got Walsh said, what other ASMR channel would you like to collab with? There are so many great people out there. Anybody who would want me to could ask me. And if the project is something I think that I would be good at and that my listeners might enjoy, I'll probably go for it. Predator 5 Rules asked, would you do a collab role play with Ben where the listener and Ben are best friends and he introduces the listener to you, his little sister? Very interesting story idea. I'll have to get with Ben and see what he thinks of that. Speaking of Ben asks, how did it feel getting to work with the big dog himself, MorriganAudio? And Sleepless Student asks, how many sacrifices did you make in order to summon Cardlin from the heavens? Working with MorriganAudio was an honor. First of all, that he would be willing to work with someone as little as me just goes to show you what a man of character he is. He is real easy to work with, nice, super nice guy, and I hope to work with him more in the future. And Sleepless, I did not sacrifice anything. He's just an all-around good guy. Michael Sergio Fisher Zaragoza asked, if someone wanted to reach out and collab with you, how would they go about doing so? Any ASMR artist could message me on Twitter, Instagram, even message me on YouTube. There are lots of ways to get a hold of me. Kira asks, what are your favorite and least favorite things about working on collaborations? My favorite is just getting to know the people that I'm working with, being able to bounce ideas off of people and just improve myself by using their gifts and talents. My least favorite thing about collaborations, to be honest, sometimes they're my least viewed audios, and I think it's because it's a storyline, but I sometimes worry that I do too many collaborations. But apparently, I guess for the most part, my warriors like that, so I'm going to continue until you guys just, basically shut me down. Last question, VGBC Persona asks, will you do a collaboration with Willow Wisteria in her A Visit from a Vampire series? Like I said, I'm very much up to, collabing with anyone, but I'm not going to go specifically ask to be a part of someone's series. I have a feeling that if someone wants me to work with them, they'll ask me. The same way, if I'm going to ask someone to work with me, it's going to be on my project. I'm not going, to try to shove my way into someone's series or someone's work. So if, Willow ever wanted me to work with her, then, I would be on board with that, but I'm not going to try to force my way into anything. So that ends the collab questions. Moving on to personal. Andrew Palomero asks, how are you, dear? I'm wonderful. It's Saturday. I got to sleep in. It's very, very nice. Aussie Ben asks, what's something you like to avoid, like the plague in day-to-day life? He said that he hates going to the post office. I have this sounds so horrible of me. I have a really, really sweet but annoying neighbor that likes to talk to me while I'm outside with my dog, and my dog barks at them constantly. And so I try to avoid them whenever I'm out with the dog. So it's not that they're mean, it's just they're sweet. They're very sweet, but they're overzealous and talking, and my dog just doesn't like that when they're trying to do their business. So Ben asks, what is your favorite YouTube channel to binge watch? I love Dr. Pimple Popper. Yeah, I know it's gross, but I could watch those disgusting videos all day long. Violin Shark Boy asks, are you from the country? Yes, I am a Southern girl. I don't know if you'd call me a country girl, but I am a Southern girl, and that's where my accent comes from. Walmart Onesie asks, how tall are you? I'm not very tall. I'm 5'7". So I'm not short, but I'm not tall by any means either. Walmart Onesie also asks, what's your fandom, if you have one? Huge Walking Dead fan. Game of Thrones. Lots of others, but those are probably the main two ones right there. Jonathan Mullen asks, are you a day or night person? I am definitely a night owl. If I could find a job to where I didn't have to go to bed until 12 or 1 in the morning and not get up until 10, I would be golden. Miss Opinionated asks, if you could change your race, would you? No. I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm very proud of my ethnicity. And so I wouldn't want to lose that. I've done a lot of research into my family's background and history, and I wouldn't want to change that. So LJ Magbag asked, what TV shows or movies are you anticipating watching this year? Very much ready for The Walking Dead to come back on. So excited that Game of Thrones starts tomorrow. Yeah, I've got certain ones that I watch that I'm excited, but those are the two ones that I am most excited about. LJ also asks, are you an outdoor or an indoor person? I am an indoor person. I have my moments where I don't mind being outside, but I'm not a heat person. And so if it's cold, I'll be outside. But if it's hot, you're going to find me inside in the AC. It's just the way that it works. Julius and Sonic Psycho asks, what is your favorite ASMR trigger, or what ASMR triggers do you have? I haven't found one where I actually get tingles like people have said, but I do find that certain sounds do make me very, very relaxed. The whispering, for one, will get me very, very relaxed. Typing will kind of ease it a little bit, but I have to turn it down. I can't have it very loud. So I haven't found one that just will full blown give me tingles, but I've got a couple that will make me at least relax a little bit. Joseph Mendina asked, do you have a favorite book or movie? My favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. And my favorite book, that's a loaded question because I read so much. So I'm just going to have to pick one of my favorites, not the favorite, because I don't think I have a favorite. But I do love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. MZ Catmac asked, what would be your favorite time era to live in? On one hand, my heart wants to say, like back in the days of the Civil War with the big dresses and all of that. And then I remember that I like having, indoor plumbing and internet, different things like that. But I don't know. I think it would be fun maybe to live back in the 1950s. The music was great. The cars, just the aura of the generation. I think that would probably be fun. All right. Extreme Otaku went insane on some questions, so I'm going to go through these and hopefully get most of them anyway. Extreme asks, do you speak any other languages? Yes, I speak enough Spanish to get me out of Mexico alive. And I also speak sign language. Extreme asks, what do you look for in a significant other? I want someone who can make me laugh. Someone who is very strong as far as knowing who they are as a person and what they believe in, and they're willing to stand up for those beliefs. Someone who thinks I hung the moon. Yeah, that's what I want. Will you tell us when your birthday is? No. Coffee or tea? Both. But tea, I want iced and sweet. Coffee, it depends on the time of day. I like it iced or I like it hot, but it's going to have some sort of flavoring in it. Extreme asks, what are one of your biggest pet peeves? When people don't drive the speed limit. That's one of them. Yeah, if it's 45 miles an hour, don't go 20, you can go 45. What would you do if you woke up as the opposite gender? If I woke up one day as a man, I would go try to see why it's so hard for you all to pee standing up. I have male members in my family. I know what happens when you guys go to the bathroom. I would want to see if I can handle it a little better than y'all. How would you describe your warriors in one word? Blessing. Yeah, my warriors are such a blessing. Extreme asks, has anyone tried flirting with you? I'm going to assume that means off the YouTube channel and not just in real life, but there's a lot of stuff that I could take as flirting, but I'm going to take it just as, good-heartedness, just, interaction. Am I afraid of spiders? Big ones. Little ones, I'll smash with my hand, but big ones, I will run away screaming. M the Gym asks, have you ever taken some form of professional writing class? No, I took one in high school, but no, never taken a professional one, if you will. It's something I guess I happen to be good at. M also asked, what sparked your interest in the Irish? I'm actually Irish. I have quite a bit of Irish blood in me. And so in doing all of the research and everything, I actually can trace back to my family member who came over, who immigrated from Ireland, came over on the boat. And so I just love the fact that I'm Irish. And so, yeah. Michael Sergio Fisher Zaragoza asks, what is your biggest fear? My biggest fear in life is to be forgotten. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, and not like in a bad way, but it breaks my heart to see elderly people who have been kind of put into nursing homes and nobody visits them, and they really don't have anybody, and that's kind of my biggest fear, is that I'm going to be forgotten about in that way. Michael also asks, what hobbies do you have? I read, I go to the movies, I watch television, I play with my dog, I nap when I can. I love to nap. Naps are awesome. Robbie Yuda Faza asked, do I ride a motorcycle? Only if someone else is driving it. I've never learned how to ride a motorcycle. Members of my family do, but it's going to be I'm always the passenger. Thomas Fuller asks, you said you're a reader. Have you or do you read comic books? No, that's one thing that I haven't got into. I've got some friends who are trying to get me to read the Walking Dead comics, but it's not something that I've kind of done yet. Thomas also asks, what's your favorite type of humor, such as slapstick, improv, insult? I like quick-witted humor. Just being able to think of things on the fly, and I guess that might include all of the examples that Thomas gave, but I just like to laugh. I try not to laugh at other people's expense, because there's a little truth in sarcasm all the time, but sometimes those zingers, you can't help it. Thomas also asks, along with Shord, if you could get one superpower, what would it be? If I could have one superpower, I would probably want... I don't think I would want to be able to read people's minds, because then I could read what they thought about me, and I'm scared that would be enough to shut me in my house for forever and not be able to be around people. I don't know. Flying would be good, I guess, but also super strength. If I could have one superpower, at least as of today, I would want to be able to freeze time. I could stop time, go take a nap, unpause, and then be able to go about my rest of the day without losing any time. That would be the superpower. Emily Bagdley, I believe I said that, asks me, what are my thoughts on the LGBTQ community? I was raised and I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. But at the same time, with what I believe as well, is that no one should judge another person for what they believe, what they feel, or who they want to love. Some of my dearest friends are gay, and I love them just the same as anybody else. I think it's a community that needs to be supported, I think that as anyone, members of that community need to be loved and respected. And so, it's one of those that we're all on this earth for a very, very short time. Hate and discrimination should not be a part of that small time frame that we're here, at least in my opinion. Emily asked, do I have a significant other? No, ma'am, I'm single. And then Emily asked, do I have any tattoos? No, but I want one. I want some, but as of right now, I can't get over the whole needle thing, which, is a huge part of tattoo. Misa Amain asked, do you like puzzle games like Tetris or sim games like Animal Crossing? I like both. I like puzzle games. I play Candy Crush quite a bit. Sim games where you get to interact and have characters. I like them all. Chain Train for Life asks, do you have a favorite video game? And if so, what is it? I'm a wannabe gamer. I want to, be all into, Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft and all of that. I just have never done it. And so I really don't have a favorite quote unquote video game. Chain Train asks, where do you live and where were you born? Not going to tell you. Thank you for asking, but I'm not going to tell you. And I'm not going to answer this question either. Chain Train asks, what do you do for a living as in your job? Sorry, a couple of things I'm going to keep to myself there. Forest Maiden in Pink asks, what's the most beautiful place you've ever been? I'm going to have to say, I'm not very well traveled, but I'm going to have to say Colorado. I believe Colorado in the wintertime is one of the most gorgeous places. Forest Maiden asks, if you could only eat 3 foods the rest of your life, what would they be? Pasta, potatoes. I'm going all starch here. Pasta, potatoes, and I got to get a sweet in there. Chocolate. Pasta, potatoes, and chocolate. Yeah, that's what it would be. And then Forest Maiden asks, what's your favorite season? Winter. I love cold weather. I like to be all snuggly in sweatshirts and blankets and all of that good stuff. Nick Deegan asks, do you have a favorite board game? I don't know. I like Apples to Apples. That's really not a board game, though. It's more of a card game. I like Life. I like Monopoly. Lots of different ones. Just kind of depends on what we're doing for game night. Mr. Marco Duri 1990 asks, what do I think of the Italian people? I love Italian people. They make amazing food. They're very, very family oriented, which is awesome. I have nothing against Italians. I actually have a couple of Italian people in my family. So yeah. Faith X asks, if you were to make a famous quote, what would it be? I don't know. I guess my little signature line that I do with all of my love, because that's what this world needs. Is a lot more love. A lot more love. Faith also asks, what is so satisfying? Piece of cake. A good movie. A good book. A long bubble bath. Clean sheets. Yeah, I'm a simple girl. Onyx Delta says, what is your favorite type of music to listen to? And Jake Scar throws that in about who's your favorite musician. I love punk alternative, and my favorite musician or musicians is Panic at the Disco. I've constantly got their music on. I love Brendan Urie's voice, so that would be who it was. ASM Writer asks, what is your favorite TV show? The Walking Dead. I'm all about the zombies, all about the walkers. Abby Creative Dreamer asks, do you feel greatly appreciated for what you do? Yes, you guys constantly pour out love to me all of the time with your comments, teasing and joking, that you feel comfortable enough to me that some of you've opened up about some stuff, just wishing me a good day, because I know that I try to be positive for you guys. You deserve that. But there are some days that you guys are my positive, because I'm human. I have bad days. I have days where I'm down about myself and down about life. And so it's nice to know that you guys are there loving me. So last section that we are getting to is called the randoms of the randomness. Random-est. It's a hard word to say. I made it up. Yes. So these are just questions that kind of blew my mind and didn't know where to put them. So here we go. J3R Omega says, can you say yell up? Literally, that's what they wanted. So there you go. That's what I'm saying. Yell up. Aha. Chain Train for Life asked, would you rather be rich and lonely or poor and in love? Poor and in love. Heck yeah. Money is not everything. Love is. Absolutely. Chain Train also asks, would you be proud of your life if there was no tomorrow? Yes, I would be. I'm very proud of the person that I am, the person that I'm still becoming. I'm proud of my accomplishments in life. I'm proud of how I treat my family, my friends. So yes, if there was no tomorrow, I would be good with that. Natalie W. asks, if you were any mythical creature, what would you consider yourself to be and why? A phoenix. Just because real corny analogy here, I've risen from the ashes several times in my life to either better myself or reinvent myself or to get out of certain situations. And so, yeah, Natalie, I'm a phoenix. Garrett Van Roy asks, what is the meaning of life? Finding what you love to do and doing it, finding who you love and loving them, finding who you are and loving yourself. That's the meaning of life. LJ Magbag asked, what will break the internet? Lots of things. I don't know. I'm going to go with one of these days we're all going to quit using it and it's just not going to know what to do and it's going to cry and run away. I don't know. Remington Jude asked, do you feel the never-ending void slowly approaching closer to our world as we hang on desperately onto our mortality in a vain attempt to escape it? Yeah, that's not a hard question, Remington. Thanks. You know, I know that life sometimes gets us down and it feels like that's what it is. That it's a never-ending void and it's coming after us, but we have a choice. We can choose to try to make it the best day we can, or we can choose to give up. And so just never give up. Bear Grylls asked, if you have 10 cats, but the plane you wanted to take was 186,398 minutes late, and the Earth is 4.543 billion years old, then how many cells do you have left in your body? I'm not a scientist. We'll have to call Sheldon Cooper for that one. All right. Dark Spirit 4444 asks, how does it feel to have 2,000 warriors? Amazing. Awesome. Unbelievable. Scott Walsh asks, could you beat Ben in a rap battle? Yes, I could. But the battle will not be happening because I do not want to cause a riot between the warriors and his tribe, because I've got some that come over from there. We've got some warrior tribe members listening. So Extreme Otaku asks, can you give us your best impression of Ben? I've actually been practicing this, so I hope it's better than what he did of me on his Q&A. So here we go. Good day, mate. Aussie Ben here with Aussie Ben ASMR. I'm a YouTuber and I make audios that make all the girls swoon. Yeah, so there we go. Abby Creative Dreamer asks, is Ben as cheeky as we think he is, or is that just us? No, Ben is cheeky, trust me. Oh my gosh. Which Ben actually asks, what's it like to have an amazing, talented, charming Aussie AMR artist as a friend? I believe when I asked him what it was like to have a Celtic goddess as a friend, he told me, or he said, I'll let you know when I find one. So I'm going to say that what it's like to have amazing, talented, charming Aussie ASMR as a friend is draining, annoying, interesting. There you go. Victoria Chase says, would you ever consider doing video game characters at some point? As in, like, maybe some Overwatch or Final Fantasy characters? Absolutely. Heck yeah. If any, people want me to do stuff like that, heck yeah. Absolutely. And that leads us into our final question, which actually goes into my announcement. Short asked, did I still no plans for a Discord server? And the answer is yes, we actually have a Discord server now for MorriganAudio. I am still trying to figure all of that out and trying to make it a place where we can get together and chat and talk and hopefully maybe we could schedule times when I'm definitely going to be there. We could have some Q&As in there and whatnot. So it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress, just because I still don't know what I'm doing. So, but yes, we do have a Discord server, and I will put more information out about the invite if you need that sort of thing. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So hopefully things will happen there. So, oh my goodness, that's it. I hope you guys have not fallen asleep on me, and that you found some of these questions as interesting as I did. Warriors, just thank you so very much for supporting me, for supporting my content. I can remember when I was back and hitting 100 subscribers thinking how far off a milestone like 2,000 would be, and it's here, and it completely and totally blows my mind. So here's to more warriors joining us along this journey of stories and hopefully help and support from each other. So yeah, we're done. So I hope that you are having a great day. As always, thank you so much. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. You'll find the links in the description below. And as always, with all of my love, until next time.